First time doing the live. Let me get this background set. All right. Let's see if we can take this off. All right, good people. How you doing today? Well, I'm trying out my live YouTube stream, so you'll be able to catch this video on YouTube as well. So today's topic is going to be about the pale moonlight, right? Something we're experiencing today. Today is November 19th, and it's a full moon with an eclipse, right? So there's a saying, have you ever danced with the devil by the pale moonlight, right? And that's been something that kind of has been always in my mind once I heard it. Have you ever, heard that statement before? Dancing with the devil by the pale moonlight. What does that mean for most? Because as we know, there are two perspectives, right? Some people has a perspective of energy positively. Some people has a perspective of energy negatively, right? So this is where, of course, we can hear in the structure of the sentence or the words, have you ever danced with the devil by the pale moonlight? So, of course, we know that's a negative um, notation towards what it's speaking on, right? So, let's go towards this concept real quick. You ask a police officer anytime you get a chance, anytime you're in their presence where you're not being hurt or being subjected to go to jail. Um, ask them the question: have they ever personally experienced on full moon nights that they are having the most activity? They're arresting most people. They're arresting the most in that day. They're having the most calls of assaults and domestic violence during that day. Um, you know that their activity is real high during the full moon, and also anyone that works in the emergency room that on the full moon night, that's when they are the most, active. When they get the most people coming in for emergencies is on full moon nights. This has been recorded, science studied, and proven, right? Well, my point is, if that's the case, why isn't there some legislative order towards any of that, right? Why isn't there any kind of discussion throughout the city ordinance to help bring an understanding, a better understanding of what's happening to people? Or could people be falsely arrested on full moon nights? Could there be a better way of handling the situations, knowing what they're encountering and why they're encountering the situations on certain days? Could that be something that they can really pinpoint instead of just coming at it full force with all the aggression and no kind of communication, right? So I'm bringing awareness to everyone of this factor of pay attention on full moon nights, you know, and build build a sort of mental perspective about it, because it could be something we need to approach this order of justice that could be unjustly serving the people by not being aware that the people are being um, controlled by energy, right? That they are really being controlled. Not to say that, oh well, that means what people don't have, um, they can't make decisions for themselves, right? But that doesn't have anything to do with a spiked up anger or spiked up happiness. These are emotions. These are energies that you operate off of. This is how you operate as a being, right? So could this be something we should be positively making aware that, hey, um, pay attention to these times, because you could be literally um, making things worse by not being aware of this, right? Even in yourself, if you're having incidents every year throughout certain periodics of time, there's something going on in your life wrong, and it wind up correlating with the full moon energy. Then I would hope you would pay attention to that and see how that can, how you can, redirect that energy for it to act better with you and for you. You know, there's a lot of it that based off of your cleanliness, you know, how clean you are inside, mentally, physically, and spiritually, because that's kind of where the balancing act comes in, on being out of control or in control. Because, gotta admit, if you're being controlled by energy, right? If the full moon is causing you to behave a certain way, guarantee you are out of control. You're not in control of you, because this is making you behave a certain way. How do you gain control in that time of that energy? That should be what you should prevalently want to know, or be able to build for yourself. Strengthen yourself against these forces of energies that you can't see, smell, or touch, but you can feel, and they are making things react in you. And again, cleanliness is next to godliness, inside and outside. So cleanliness is just, drink more water, get off the bad sugars and the dyed drinks, get off the things that is going to toxify you more on a consistent basis. Be more consistent with things that's going to help your body be clean. That would be the ideal concept of what you should want to do, right? Exactly. It says cleanse, ground, shield, and recharge. That's a system. That is something worth learning. How to ground yourself, because you got to look at the whole electrical currency process. When there's no ground, it's out of control energy. That positive energy will become reckless and dangerous and more chaotic than it is supporting you and helping you and making things maintain and sustain. You need to be grounded, right? So, of course, having plants around you. If you can get outside, we have cold weather, so wouldn't be wise to kind of go outside with your bare feet and it's below 40 degrees, unless you know your body, unless you have already put in the time and practice. But I know majority of us, that people that are listening, aren't in that stage. So we would want to use wisdom during this time. And wisdom would tell you, don't go outside trying to ground yourself and it's cold outside, especially if you just got out the shower and wet feet, right? so, so, but there are other ways of grounding using, um, I'm burning sage, right? I'm grounding myself, right? And using the air and the effervescence of the sage smoke, that is helping me to stay grounded in my environment, to ground, right? I have stones and crystals in my environment, right? That helps me to be grounded as well, right? Drinking teas that's hot, that's good for me. Green teas, that helps you to ground as well. So you can get some trifolds out of the things that you do, right? Ground and cleanse you, right? Recharge you, all right? So crystals can do that. Sage can do that. Teas can do that, you know. But it's when you know to apply those things that makes the difference. Say, for instance, you're under the currency of the energy that is out of control. You know, if you most people, I would say, put it somewhere where you can visually see, so it can catch your attention. Because if that energy's on you, you're not being attentive, intentional at that time. It's because that energy most likely is taken over and it's gotten your attention, and you don't know. It's making you behave a certain way, and you're not realizing or recognizing that's what's really happening, right? But if if it start, most times when I feel it, I can kind of notice a little woozy head. Sometimes it can be a certain energy in my nervous system. It can be making it can make me want to kind of lay down, or it can make me real hype. It just depends on this alignment when that time of that year. This is November's full moon. All right, this December is going to have a full moon. How is that going to align? So there are properties in the energy currency when it's coming, according to the time frame it's coming on that day. So everything is circulation and movements, and it's synergizing within its movement. So you will want to pay attention to that, give some attention to that, so it'll give you better control. It'll help you know when to sink in with the energy, according to grounding yourself according during that time, so you can stabilize that energy regardless if you use it. Just to stabilize yourself and put that in practice will help you maintain throughout life, so you won't be caught up in that out of control feeling. You've got to strengthen yourself in the control feeling, so it won't cause you to be out of control. All right. Because again, the police department is proven, and they'll speak on it. They can prove that fact. They have the most activity during the full moon. I wouldn't want to be one of those get caught up in that. You know, you get out, you go drinking the full moon night, you definitely finna get out of control. You're definitely not going to be in control of your energy, especially if you haven't trained yourself to be aware of it, right? Because it's just basic awareness. My thing is, awareness is key, and helping you become aware gives you the key to unlock the troubles in your mind or in your life or in your way. All right. So be aware of these things. Just take heed, because in the old age, these are times of harvest. The full moon, elders will tell you their story of the full moon is when they go and harvest, right? They'll harvest in the middle of the night at full moon. That's when they're getting their peas and certain things, right, from the garden. Okay. And especially the day that morning after, they're picking. Okay. So why is that important for them? Because it's a rise of energy. It's when the nectar energy and all the nutrients is pulled into the fruit, or pulled into the yield of what you're harvesting, right? And it's going to plant that in that harvest. So when you go consuming, you're consuming all the true nutrients that's coming from that plant. The plants know when to put the nutrients in, so you can pick and be able to benefit at the proper time, right? So there's order to it all. Doesn't have to be built off of chaos of the pale moonlight. You're dancing with the devil. You can gain control and be in the heavens of the moonlight, right? Because she's beautiful and she's a wonderful thing to be blessed by, right? So take heed of your perspective. Or either you want to be negative with it or positive with it. You want to be pessimistic or optimistic. You want to be down or up. Choose your path, but be aware of the fact that you have a choice. Awareness is key. Be aware of your choices. Be aware of your energies. Be aware of your feelings. Okay, of course, that's your energies, but energies take precedent of a lot of different perspective, right? Like this light is energy, okay, but that has nothing to do with your emotions. So, um, but you must be aware of the light so you can see and use it for its benefit. I'm gonna turn it on so you can see me, okay? Say, look, I just wanted to give y'all this blessing of information and knowledge that's coming into my downloads. I've had certain encounterment that helps me to bring this to your attention. Okay, so it's confirmation that I'm using to help say, hey, there are some people may need to listen to this and that's ready to hear this, so that way it can help them on their stages in their pathway of life. And by this being my first time doing YouTube, I appreciate everybody that will take the time to look at this, and looking forward to giving you more of what I have to offer. All right. Um, with that, my next will be putting Instagram on the list, on the chain. So I have Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. So be on the lookout for that. Products coming down the line. I have a few things that is in the making. Um, Something that's going to help with congestion in all the four areas. This is what you see behind me, the 1, 2, 3 zones, okay, or regions, right? And you have it's going to be talking about the plumbing you have in your body from your head all the way down to your reproductive system. There's nothing but plumbing there that you need to be aware of and how it works. But the one thing you got to be aware of is that plumbing can get clogged up and congested like the plumbing in your house. Eventually, over time, you'll need somebody to go in and router them pipes out so it can funnel through better. It can flow better. It won't be clogging up your toilet, your tub, and your sinks, right? So you know that the concept of clogging happens with plumbing. Well, congestion, plaque, mucus plaque, all right, yeast, um, different particle waste, those things that are like that can plug up your plumbing. How to unclog that. That's a very important thing. And you want to know how to do that and sustain that because that's a part of you having a good life to live. It's good flow, good plumbing flow. One of the key things to your healing and your self-care is your plumbing. All right. We'll talk about the other zones within the body. Far as you got plumbing, you got your electrical system, which is your nervous system, right? You have your mechanical system, which is your muscles and your joints, your bones, right? All right. So you have these regions, these zones that you have that we need to address as well. All right. And this is all a part how to cleanse yourself so you can control your energies in your body. Okay. So look, peace, love, and light, y'all. Just wanted to take this brief time out for you. It's been 17 good minutes that I've been in on. I'll come next time with a little longer talk and discussion. But yeah, just wanted to get the feel of it and build up this bravado of using the YouTube and Facebook at the same time. But usually, y'all, I'm always on Facebook. So if you're catching this YouTube and you're seeing this for the first time, you might want to catch me on my Facebook because I have a lot more videos there. And I got, I just kind of where I populate my demographics of people that I love, that loves me. So, but I'm finna work this thing, move forward. This is newness coming into the 2022 time. And I'm taking advantage of this full moon by activating this visual communication and building off of it as well. Okay. You can also catch me on Clubhouse. I'm normally on Clubhouse. I have a club there it's called Awareness is Key. That's the club I have on Clubhouse app. All right. So you can also catch me there. We're doing some lectures. I'm sending out an invitation for those who wish to join and would like to have a say so and get themselves on the stage and talk a little bit. Because that's what Clubhouse is an audio app where you're talking live. This is an app system that's video live, right? So Clubhouse is something for audio, and I dig it, and I reach a lot of people that way. So with that, y'all, I'm gonna probably recircumvent this a little bit and do another version of this later on today with Instagram in mind, and take advantage of this full moon on this 19th day. That's a powerful composition right there within that number. An eclipse, the 19th, the eclipse, and the full moon. So there are some synergies there that I would hope that those that have ears to hear and eyes to see to go off and seek that knowledge of what's within there, unlock and unfold that so it can benefit you and those around you. All right. So like I said, I plan on doing this again a little bit later on today, but I gotta go and get some exercise in, and yeah, take a little trip down outside and get some of this nature of what the moon is blessing. So peace, love, and light, y'all. Peace, love, and light. All right. Um, YouTube, peace, love, and light to you. All right, family. I got to land y'all last because, I love you so. Thank you for coming on